Hello everyone, thanks for joining us here today. My name is Bhavik Kapadia and I'm a web security consultant here at SSL 247. Today's webinar will be about migration to SHA-2, some of its implications and next steps. So I'd like to thank all of you for attending today's webinar as well. SSL 247 are specialist partners with Symantec, and we're also awarded the EMEA Symantec Champion Award for 2014 last year. All our consultants are SSC and SSC Plus accredited, and we are specialist partners with a number of other certificate authorities as well. Okay, if any of you have any questions that you'd like to ask, feel free to put them down in the questions section in the chat box, and I will be getting back through to you, answering those questions as soon as possible. If for some reason I do not answer your question, do not worry, I will get them answered by myself via email. Okay? So yeah, as I said, I am your speaker for today. My name is Bhavik Kapadia and I am a web security consultant here at SSL 247. Today's agenda will be about number one, what is SHA, what it stands for. Part 2 will be regarding why the deprecation. Part 3 will be about switching to SHA-2. And the last part will be if anyone has any questions, I will do my best and answer those questions for you. So let's move on to part 1. What is SHA? So SHA actually stands for Secure Hash Algorithm. It's a secure hashing algorithm, and basically its function to transform an input, which is a message, into an output called hash value with a certain number of bits. Okay, you can apply that hash value or hash algorithm on a message and it gives you a unique string. You can call it fingerprint, you can call it digest, or you can call it hash value as well. Its benefits are that the integrity and the authenticity of a message to the receiver, it ticks that box, and also the identity validation during the SSL process. Okay. How it works. So that function, so whatever the times you apply that hash algorithm on a message, the hash value that is produced will always stay the same. So here you can see, as an example, if we have website security specialists, the hash value is the one that you can see on the screen. If you change any of the characters, even if it's one single character, the hash value becomes completely different. Now, what I'm trying to tell you here is that you can't invert the hash function. So you can't recreate a message from the hash value, therefore it's a one-way cryptographic algorithm. Okay? So, you know, the functions that transform an input into an output with a certain number of bits. What is SHA-1? So SHA-1 is a version of SHA algorithm which was producing 160-bit hash value. Here is an example of a SHA-1 hash value. Okay. Now, a lot of people have still certificates in SHA-1 format. The whole purpose of this webinar is that we can move your SHA-1 certificates into SHA-2. What is SHA-2? So SHA-2 is just another hashing algorithm. It's a SHA algorithm which produces a different size of hash value. Okay, here you can see in the example that it produces 256-bit hash value. SHA-2 is now becoming industry standard, and it's the most common hash function used. There is another hashing algorithm that has been developed, which is SHA-3, but it isn't out in the market yet, and it hasn't been implemented, and we don't think it will be implemented for a few years yet. So to sum it up, now that you know what SHA is and why it's essential to your certificate, we're going to see the critical deadlines to keep in mind to actually switch from SHA-1 to SHA-2. Okay, so part 2 is why the deprecation. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some of the weaknesses. There are all types of different attacks possible on hashing algorithms, but today we're going to focus on collision attacks as an example. Okay, so when there are infinity input lengths, there's always a predefined output length, and there's always going to be the possibility of two different inputs that actually produce the same hash value. Now, if two separate inputs produce the same hash output, that is then called a collision. And the collision can be exploited in many different ways, one being redirecting people to fake websites, another one being stealing confidential data, also creating malware attacks as well. So using a weak hashing algorithm actually puts the security of the data that's being transferred at risk, and that's why the security industry is moving from SHA-1 to SHA-2. Consequences are also the fact that it increases risks of man-in-the-middle attacks, and it also decreases the integrity of the SSL certificate, which we don't want. There were, algorithms used previously before SHA-2, one of them being the MD5, which was not resistant to collisions in practice. Okay, MD5 used a 128-bit hash length value. Okay, and in the past, there were, times where that hashing algorithm was compromised, and that's when SHA-1 was invented. Now, if you see in the screen here, SHA-1 actually uses a hash value length of 160-bit. So it's slightly more than the MD5, which was 128-bit. SHA-1 is proven not resistant to collisions only in theory. However, what's actually happened is that the security industry, is being proactive rather than reactive, and have decided to move away from SHA-1 before there are problems with it. And therefore, the solution to that was actually coming up with SHA-2 with a bigger hash value. Okay, so in theory, SHA-1 can resist collision attacks because it's too long to decrypt for hackers. However, with the evolution of the modern world computing technology, it might weaken SHA-1 hashing algorithm. SHA-2 works in exactly the same way, but it's with a bigger hash value. Now, some of the deadlines here which are really important is Microsoft. So note this date down, the 1st of January 2017, Microsoft operating systems, all of them, will stop trusting any SSL certificate using SHA-1 hashing algorithm. Okay, if you have a certificate which is still in SHA-1 after the 1st of January 2017, Microsoft will stop trusting it, and web browsers will do the same. So whether you use Google Chrome, Internet Explorer, Mozilla Firefox, any of them, or other ones as well, they will stop trusting these certificates as well. And as a consequence, what will happen is, you can see on my screen here, anyone trying to connect to that website using a SHA-1 certificate will get the following message, warning message. It will say your connection is not private, okay? And whether that's an e-commerce website, internal login, it doesn't matter. Everyone logging on to that particular site, particular website, will see these warning messages. and it's pretty much the same as, you know, when your certificate expires. Now, these deadlines are not just for browsers and servers, they're actually deadlines for certificate authorities as well. So here is another important date for you. As of the 1st of January 2016, following Microsoft's decision, all certificate authorities will stop issuing SHA-1 certificates after this date. If you want a certificate in SHA-1 after the 1st of January 2016, you won't be able to get one. Whether you're, you know, using semantic certificates, global sign, GeoTrust, you know, Thought, Komodo, Rapid SSL, it doesn't matter. Any certificate authority, every single one of them will stop issuing, reissuing SHA-1 certificates after the 1st of January 2016. You will not be able to get a SHA-1 certificate, okay? Following on from this, Google actually have taken it one step further, and they've already, you know, implemented visual effects. So on Google Chrome 42, for SHA-1 certificates, this is what you should see currently. If the certificate is expiring between the 1st of June 2016 and December the 31st, 2016, you should be able to see this visual alert. The padlock with the yellow triangle on top of it, okay, means secured but with minor errors. The whole purpose of buying the SSL certificate is so you do not see these you know, problems. You want to see the green padlock at the top rather than seeing yellow triangle over your grey padlock. If your certificate, if you're using Google Chrome and your certificate is still in SHA-1, and after the 1st of January 2017, you'll be seeing this particular visual alert, okay, which means it is not secure. It will, you know, it will come up in your browsers saying it is not secure. Do not trust this site, okay? So again, as you can see, if an SSL certificate is using SHA-1 certificates expiring, which expires after the 1st of June 2016, users will see two types. One with the triangle, the yellow triangle over the padlock, secured but with minor errors, and the other one with a cross, which means it is not secured. Okay. Now, why should we switch to SHA-2? Why is it so important? Okay. Now, SHA-2 is becoming industry standard. A lot of, I mean, I had a client the other day, I think it was on Monday, who had or is needing PCI DSS compliancy. Okay, to be PCI DSS compliant, you actually need to have certificates in SHA-2. You cannot pass the, you know, the payment card industry requirement if you still have certificates in SHA-1. It is very, very important that you reissue or renew your certificates in SHA-2 format. This is just one example. I have other examples as well. One of my other clients who uses PayPal, they have actually they've started sending emails to a lot of their clients who are still using SHA-1 certificates. Okay, so they're telling their clients, PayPal are telling their clients that if you do not move away from SHA-1, we will cancel your account. You will not be able to use that service on your website to collect money or, you know, for transactions. Okay, therefore, this is just one reason why you should switch to SHA-2. This is not just, you know, based at e-commerce sites or, you know, banks. This is for every single company. It has an impact on every single company, no matter what the size is. no matter what as a business you do, whether you're a small company, big company, government agency, internal, external applications, it doesn't matter. It will impact all of your sites, and it also doesn't matter whether the certificate is a domain validated certificate or an organization validated certificate, an extended validated certificate, a wildcard, multi-domain, internal, external apps. It doesn't matter. You will get visual alerts on your sites all the time. Okay. Now, end users will obviously receive security warnings, and you don't want your customers, your clients, people logging onto your website coming back to you with negative user reactions. Okay, this is just an example. Sometimes, you're on e-commerce sites, you're looking to buy something, you see a huge warning message saying your connection is not private. I can assure you they will not carry on with their purchase. They will abandon the site and they will cancel the transaction. They might also call your support services because they're confused, they don't know what's going on. It just puts out a bad image, bad reputation. The whole trust factor won't be there, and it will eventually lead to loss of revenue. Now that you know the risks with the hashing algorithm prior to SHA-2 and the critical deadlines to meet, I'm going to explain what to do and how we can help you in the process at SSL 247. Okay, so switching to SHA-2 certificates, part 3 of this webinar. So planning your migration is extremely important. Part 1 is identifying your SHA-1 certificates. Once you've done that, check that your server and your browser is compatible or not. Prioritize the SHA-1 certificates. Which ones are most important, which ones are not so important. Switching to SHA-2 with SSL 247 and installing your SHA-2 certificates along with testing your new certificate. Okay, so identifying your SHA-1 certificate, there are actually 3 ways of doing this. 3 very simple ways. You can use our SHA-1 checker. In the example here, you can see that we've used SSL247.co.uk. When you decode that certificate, it comes back with a SHA-2 detected green tick, which simply means that the certificate is in SHA-2 format. When we put on the left-hand side, when we put a different website or domain, it came back as SHA-1 detected. Okay, so you can use this SHA-1 checker by going onto this link over here, which you can see at the bottom of this page. Very important tool, very easy to use, and you can check whether your certificate is in SHA-1 or not. If you go onto the website, whether it's whether you're logging onto the .co.uk website, .br, .es, .se, .com, it doesn't matter. SSL 247, any of the sites will have exactly the same SHA-1 checker. So at the top it has a support tab. If you scroll down to the bottom, second bottom, it has SHA-1 checker. Okay, so you can use the SHA-1 checker to see whether it's in SHA-1 or not. The other way of identifying whether your SHA-1 or your certificates are in SHA-1 or not, if you're already a client, already using SSL 247 as a supplier, you can log in to your MySSL platform, your MySSL portal, and on the left-hand side, you can actually click on My SSL Certificates. Okay, there'll be a drop-down menu, and there will be a tab which says SHA-1 Checker. Now, in the example here, we've used this one account. It has 5 issued certificates. Out of those 5, 3 are SHA-1. So you can very distinctly see that 3 certificates are still in SHA-1. Straight away, you know visually that you have 3 certificates which are still in SHA-1 format. Okay, Very easy to use platform. Log in, see which certificates are still in SHA-1. Ideally, you want 0, you want none in SHA-1 format, okay? The last way of identifying and checking whether your certificate is still in SHA-1 is by checking on your browser. If you log on to the domain, to the site, and simply click on the certificate and go into connection and then see certificate information, there will be sort of pop-up which opens up on your browser which says certificate, and if you go into details, it actually has information on what signature hash algorithm it uses. So in the example, we've used SSL 247 as an example, and as you can see, our certificate is in SHA-2 format, okay? You can check by doing the same thing on your site. Part 2 is checking whether your server and your browser is compatible or not, okay? You don't want to be moving to SHA-2 if your server and your browser are not compatible. First, you need to find out whether they are. If they're not, you need to seek alternative ways, okay? There may be a hotfix, or you could consider upgrading your server, upgrading your browser so that SHA-2 certificates are compatible. One of the ones that I do know that is not compatible is Windows XP SP2 and below. If you've got SP3 and above, that is fine. If you do not, make sure you upgrade. I think there is a hotfix. If there isn't, probably consider upgrading your whole server altogether. Okay, so you can actually get this white paper online to check browser compatibility, sorry, and server compatibility, or you can go onto this link at the bottom of this page, whereby you can also access that online white paper. Okay. Now, part 3 is prioritizing your SHA-1 certificate. If you have a lot of certificates, you need to try and prioritize them. So I understand, some people have 500 certificates, 1,000 certificates. It is not easy to wake up one day and say, I'm moving them all to SHA-2. Okay, you need to have a plan in place. So if you have a lot of certificates, try to prioritize them according to the expiration date. So focus on the certificates with the latest expiration date first. Certificates which expire after the 1st of January 2017. Try and get them reissued, renewed, etc. in SHA-2 as soon as possible, and then work your way down that list. Okay. The other thing is the level of urgency. Focus on public-facing sites first, external sites first, sites which end clients will be logging onto. You don't want them to see that you're still using SHA-1 certificates, so therefore bear that in mind and make sure you switch to SHA-2 as soon as possible, starting with public-facing sites first. And lastly, the transition time. Check how much time you need to prepare the transition. For example, is your server compatible or not? Is your browser compatible or not? If, for example, you are, you're using a SHA-2 certificate, however, all your end clients are using a browser which is not compatible, well, that's not going to do you much good, is it? So plan this accordingly, see whether they are compatible or not, see what your clients are using, and then work your way towards that. Now, switching to SHA-2 with SSL 247 is very, very easy. There's 3 ways of actually switching to SHA-2 with SSL 247. You can renew your certificates with us, and that can be done very easily. You can contact your account managers on this, and they'd be more than happy to renew your certificates. You know, sometimes if your certificate, for example, is going to expire in 2 months and 3 days time, as an example, you can tell your account managers to renew that certificate in SHA-2 format. The remainder of the time will be added onto the new certificate, so do not worry on that, and it will also avoid any last minute problems. Sometimes, you know, people leave their renewals till last minute and then they have issues at the last minute. So try and avoid that. You can renew your certificates in SHA-2. If you're not with SSL 247, no problem. We also offer competitive replacement for our prospect clients. If you are using one certificate authority, we can offer you a different certificate authority, and as long as your certificate is expiring within the next 12 months, we will make sure that we add the remainder of the time onto the new certificate. Okay, so you do not lose any time. So if there's 8 months on the current certificate which are left, we will make sure that we place those 8 months on the new certificate which we provide you with. And lastly, reissuing. Reissuing your certificates in SHA-2. So reissues with SSL 247 is completely free of charge. It's very quick, very easy, does not require a lot of manipulation from you. Okay, it's very easy to do. Part 4 is actually reissuing on your MySSL platform. You can quickly reissue your SSL certificates which are still in SHA-1 to SHA-2 with 2 very easy steps with SSL 247. Okay, so how you can do that is logging on to your MySSL platform, to your MySSL portal. You can access all your certificates on the left hand side under issued certificates. Okay, now reissuing on your MySSL platform, you first have to generate a new CSR, a new certificate signing request. Okay, please use the same CSR details you originally used for the certificate. If you change, you know, the organization name, locality, the reissue will not go through. It will throw up an error. Okay, so please, please, please make sure that your CSR details are exactly the same that you used the first time round. If you don't remember the information, no problem, you can find it through your MySSL platform. Okay, if you go on the particular domain, particular certificate, you can download your existing CSR. Okay, download your existing CSR, decode it, you can check what the certificate information is and create the new certificate signing request using that. Okay. Now, once you have the right CSR, so once you have the new certificate signing request, all you need to do is place that into the box which you see here on my screen. It says reissue certificate. Okay, place the new CSR into this box and press validate CSR. Do not worry, your certificates will not come back in SHA-1 format. You do not need to specify that this reissue has to be in SHA-2. All our certificates that we place, whether that's a renewal, a reissue, you know, anything, they are placed in SHA-256 by default. Okay, so your certificates will not come back in SHA-1 format. So you can do this via going onto the certificate page in your MySSL platform. Okay, you can find this easy 2-step process on our dedicated tutorial. Very easy 2-step process of how to reissue your certificates with SSL 247. You can log on to this site over here, which is on my screen, and it will give you like a step-by-step guide of exactly how to reissue your SHA-1 certificates into SHA-2 format. Okay. Now, once you receive your SHA-2 certificate via email, remember that your SSL certificates, reissued certificates, will always be sent back to the technical contact. Okay, if you do not remember who the technical contact is, or if you are not the technical contact, no problem. Contact your account managers, they will be sure to send the fulfillment email onto you. Okay, you can install your SHA-2 certificate via the tutorials that we've got on the website, the installation help that we provide via tutorials. Please do remember to install your SHA-2 intermediate certificates, okay? If you still have SHA-1 certificate, intermediate certificate, it will throw up an error. You'll still have problems, okay? You can find SHA-2 intermediate certificates in the fulfillment pages which we send out, or you can go to the download root and intermediate certificates from our website. Okay. And lastly, please check your installation to see that your new certificate has been installed correctly. So there are a couple of certificate decoders and health checkers that you can use to make sure that the certificate has been installed correctly, to make sure that your certificate is installed correctly and it's in SHA-2 format. Okay. Now here are some useful links if you do require any help in identifying your SHA-1 certificates or any of the steps that I've mentioned here today. All the links are here. Feel free to have a look at them. If you need additional help, feel free to contact your account managers. All the links that are available on other websites as well. So, whether you're logging onto SSL247.fr, ES, SE, BR, etc., etc., all the links are there. They're available on every single website of ours. Okay. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to ask me, or if you have any questions which you want to ask your account managers, feel free to get in contact with them. I actually have a question here which might be of interest to some other people as well, which has been asked. The question goes as, what happens to my SHA-1 certificate whilst I am getting the SHA-2 certificate reissued, or getting the SHA-1 certificate reissued to SHA-2? So that's the question. Nothing will happen to your SHA-1 certificate which is installed at the time. It will run as usual. Once your SHA-2 certificate comes back, again, nothing will happen to your SHA-1 certificate until you install the new SHA-2 certificate. Okay? Once you install the new SHA-2 certificate, that's when the other SHA-1 certificate gets taken over by the SHA-2 certificate. Okay, so technically there is no downtime. I think that's what the question was, whether there is any downtime. There is no downtime whilst getting the certificate reissued in SHA-2 format. Okay. Again, I'd like to thank everyone for attending today's webinar on the SHA-2 and its implications and next steps. If you do have any other questions, if you feel free to contact your account managers, give us a call. More than happy to help out. So thank you for listening to me today. I hope this has been useful. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to get in touch with us. Thank you very much.